All right, good morning from Lake Mead. Trying a different location today, a little north of where I was. But I was able to back right up to the water. I didn't even need a cart. I slid the back into the water, picked up the nose and swung it into the water. Pretty easy. But yeah. So there we go. There I am. We're gonna try and find them. They're supposed to be here. They've been here. I probably won't be here today because I'm here. So, but anyways, as always, I'm in compliance with the Lake Mead National Recreation Area fishing guidelines. So let's not worry about that. Let's just go find some fish. And I'm gonna babble a little bit later on about Jackson's new re-release yesterday. More on that later. Stick around. All right, so I went like halfway across the lake. And I looked around and they're boiling right in front of my Jeep. These two guys over here just got in the water. And they're yelling. They just flared up. Just started. I do not like that lure. It doesn't fly right. So we're going to change that right now. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. Alright, here's the first one of the day. Staying up right here, right in front of my truck. Feels like an alright fish. It is an alright fish. Yeah, it'll do. Fish. You got another one. Not boiling. Got some head shake to him. Doesn't feel very big though. That's because it's not. But there it is. Got him on the flicker shad. Diver. Alright. A few boils here and there. I got a few fish. I recorded two of them, three of them, I don't know. I recorded at least two of them. It's, you know, it's a weird year. This place should be just absolutely blowing up, and it's not. But I did see birds. We had birds on the first two boils, so that might be a sign that things are changing. I don't know. But like I said, I launched at Saddle. I backed right up to the water. See, I'm seeing fish jumping right up in front of me now. Backed right up to the water. Didn't even need a cart. Just put the back in the water. Grabbed the nose, swung that into the water. Went right around, put my battery in, blah blah. Went fishing. Pretty easy. It's not the easiest thing to get to, so I wouldn't recommend trying it in the Baja Prius. I don't think that's going to work. But anyways, time to rave about the re-released Big Rig FD. I thought they were going to call it a Mark IV, but they're just calling it the Big Rig FD. Fast, stable, and I mean ridiculous amounts of place to put your stuff. Somehow Jackson cracked the black magic box of speed and stability, because this thing has both, and it's pretty freaking amazing. Like I said, I couldn't believe it when they replaced it with the NAR. I had two NARs. Wasn't my thing. I got rid of both of them. So yeah, I don't like that one so much at all. This one, however, I think this one's faster than the NAR, and I don't know how, because it's longer and wider. But it's just got to be the hull shape, because it only sticks in the water like a couple inches. And when it's windy, because it's so low to the water, you know, I mean, there's at the side, there's about maybe 6 inches sticking up out of the water. The wind goes right over the top of it. I have been in places I probably shouldn't have been with this thing, and you know, I've been on the Colorado from Willow, going through the rippingest part of the current. I'm gonna go this way. ripping as part of the current, and there's no problem, absolutely no problem. I've always had to slow my troll down. You know, I've never felt like I was in a situation where I couldn't, you know, where I couldn't overcome the current. It's never been a problem. And I've had this thing for, I don't know, 5 months now, and it just goes. I was kind of a little standoffish about trying it, but once I put it together and took it to Willow that first night, I was like sold. The thing that sold me on the Mark IV drive was the blue sky. I figured, well, if that Mark IV can shove that big honking blue sky at the speed it did, I figured it'd be able to push this thing pretty good, and it does. So don't second guess yourself. If you think that you know, if you want a long, stable, fast kayak and you're even thinking about a big rig, jump on it, because you won't be sorry, I promise you. If you need to know a really good way to mount the transducer for a fish finder, PVC. Stuff a piece of PVC up in that scupper right underneath the seat, and I routed the wire up there, through that hole, and out that hole right there. So yeah, and it works really good. It doesn't, the way the hull's shaped, it's in its own little tunnel. I don't know if the total scan is going to work. It should. I would think it would. I don't run a total scan. This is just down imaging, so it works great for me. So yeah, all right, that's enough babbling on about the big rig. If you want to roll back through some of my videos, you can see some of the places I've had this thing in, and I've never had the seat in a low position. Never once have I felt at all unstable. The only thing, there was one day, the wind was ripping so hard, I had trouble putting it on the cart because the kayak was going up and the cart was going down. It was a little bit of a nightmare, but I got it. So, if that's the least of your worries, don't, just take your time and figure it out. This thing is way worth it. I forget to say one thing. If you guys aren't familiar with the steering on a big rig, it's got these paddles right here. You just got to think of those, and I still have to tell myself this. You got to think of them like foot pedals for foot steering. Push your right foot or your left foot forward, you're going to turn left. Push your right foot forward, you're going to turn right. Just, and they're right there. There's one on each side. So, and they're, I just cruise like this, and a lot of times, with my hand right on it, a lot of times I don't even have to. It tracks so good. I mean, I got 2 8-foot poles out right now, 7-foot poles, and straight as an arrow. It's pedaling at like 2.2 miles an hour, which is probably too fast, but you just got to make just tiny little adjustments. But like I've said before, nothing's gonna go straight. Try that in a real boat. Try and set on one course, and anything but an autopilot with the north feature, it's not going to go straight. So this thing tracks pretty good. Tracks excellent, actually. One of the best tracking kayaks I've ever been in. And anybody that knows me, they know that I've been in quite a few kayaks. I have to say this is my favorite one. And I've had autopilot 136, 120. This was a rough call between my Predator MK and this one, but this thing's pretty cool. Predator, this edges out the Predator MK in the stability factor right there. So yeah, it's pretty good. I like it a lot. All right, that's gonna do it for this one. I had to wait for these guys in the jet skis because they kept running back and forth across right in front of the launch. I don't know what makes people do that. I just put a big old spinno on and said, go ahead, cut me off. and they let me through. But yeah, it's not that bad on a normal day when there's not 5 million jet skis out here. I put the bed extender on, backed out to my rear tires were right at the water line. It's that, you know, it's not soft at all, and just picked it up, slid it in, put the straps on it, drove up the hill. But yeah, like I said, a few boils, a few fish, nothing quite like I was expecting, but you know, that's why it's fishing, not catching. We're going camping, so I won't be back on the water until next week sometime. So if you like what you saw, that's what I'll do over there in kayak. Give a share, and see you on the water. Thanks for watching.